Do you guys like stir fries? Being Chinese, stir fry is a part of our heritage, and one of the most essential pieces of equipment to stir frying is a wok. And today we're going to be taking a look at this wok by 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻. If you haven't already, please consider supporting the channel by hitting that like and subscribe button. We also have an IG knife shop where we sell some knives to help fund the channel, and we also have a merch store where you can get some merch to further support this madness. Now, quick disclaimer, 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 did send me this wok completely free of charge. However, they're not paying me for this video, nor am I affiliated with 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻. So that way you guys know that my review and feedback is 100% honest and of my own. And as always, this is going to be a first impression review. We're going to come back here in 6 months to see how this baby holds up. So a little bit of background information on 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻, or Ho Toi in Cantonese, means good table in Chinese. And 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 is started, this is directly from the owner. He said that we got the idea from my wife, who was looking for a good wok, just like her grandmother's. We live in the Boston area and couldn't find anything she liked in the US. After a lot of research online, we found this amazing Chinese manufacturer who handmade this beautiful wok that reminded my wife of what her grandmother had. We ordered one, and the next thing we know, everyone in our extended family and our family and friends started asking for it. So we worked with the manufacturer and came up with a design we liked, and the rest is history. We are a small shop, as you can tell. This is something we do because we are passionate about it and want to share what we found with people who are equally passionate about cooking. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm actually going to pronounce it in Cantonese and put the English translation at the bottom of the screen because I keep butchering the English translation. It's been like 4 or 5 takes, so we're just going to have to move on, and I'm just going to say it in Cantonese. The wok / manufacturer that 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 was talking about is known as 𝗙𝗢𝗛. 𝗙𝗢𝗛 is a forge that hand makes / hand hammer heirloom quality woks from a forge based in the Zhengyao district in the Shandong province. So from the information I can gather, the forge has been ran by the same family for 5 generations, and they have been hand hammering and hand making these woks for over 100 years. And each wok is actually hammered 36,000 times, hand hammered 36,000 times, in order to create this beautiful, beautiful mirror-like finish for every single wok. So 𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻 actually offers 2 different versions of this wok. They have a round bottom version and a flat bottom version. Now, if I have the kitchen that I wanted that has a designated wok burner, the round bottom would be a no-brainer. But since most of us do not have a designated wok burner, I went on ahead and went with the flat bottom version. Now let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the specs. These woks come in 2 different sizes. There's a 32 centimeter version and a 34 centimeter version. This one right here is the 34 centimeter version. The wall thickness is 2.5 millimeter, which is a heavier gauge carbon steel in comparison to a lot of the more mass-produced woks, which is much thinner and lighter. Now, with that being said, the heavier weight of this wok does make pounding of the ingredients a little bit more cumbersome. Now, the upside to that is that this thing is built like a tank. These are very high quality woks, and if properly taken care of, this is a multi-generational tool, meaning you can pass this wok down from one generation to the next within your family, or if you prefer to give someone else a wok, that works too. But this is definitely a wok that will last multiple generations if you take care of it. Another feature that I really like about this wok is the depth and the shape of this wok. This wok has a more bowl-like shape, which in comparison to your more typical wok, which usually has a more flared wall, these more vertical walls allow you to fit more ingredients in your wok. Now, another feature that I also really like about this flat bottom wok is that the flat bottom is very, very big. Like, the cooking surface is huge, which makes for a very, very stable surface. And I know I've seen some shopping guides out there that says when you shop for a flat bottom wok, you'll want for a smaller cooking or burn surface. From my own personal experience and maybe just my personal preference, I actually prefer a larger cooking surface because, like I said, it's more stable and it allows more heat to reach your food. Stir frying is high heat cooking, and with your residential stoves that we get in the United States, these stoves don't get very hot. So having a larger cooking surface allows more heat to reach your food, and it just creates a better stir fry in my opinion. Now, I am curious to see whether or not this shape will allow the moisture to escape as well as a more flared wok. Now let's go ahead and move on to the fit and finish of this wok. Now, this wok came pre-seasoned, which is a really nice touch, and it's pre-seasoned to this beautiful blue seasoning on the inside. I'll have to see how well the season is when I start cooking with it and decide whether or not I actually have to redo it. Excuse me. Like I said, the inside of this wok is very well polished and smooth. Like, it is almost mirror-like. And like they said in the promo videos, this wok is hand hammered up to 36,000 times, or at least 36,000 times, to create this mirror-like finish on the inside of the wok, which is just absolutely stunning. When you actually see one of these in person, it is hard to believe that this is actually hand hammered, because it is just so smooth and even. Now, the cook surface is very well, nice and centered, and very stable. The wok itself, the lip of the wok, is also nice and even and centered. Now, another feature that I really like about these woks is that it is rivetless. These woks are all hand hammered and forged out of one piece of metal, meaning this handle is not welded on afterwards. And without rivets, you'll never have to worry about your handle coming loose. And as you guys who have cooked in the kitchen and have cleaned in the kitchen for many years, you know that rivets in pots and pans and cookware can sometimes be a little difficult to clean around. So not having rivets make cleaning a breeze. Now, this version of the wok comes with this plastic sleeve. If you do decide that you'll need to put this in the oven, you'll probably have to try to remove this plastic sleeve. I have seen other varieties of this same wok, or the Junsamwan woks, that comes with a helper handle on the other side. The helper handle might be nice because of how heavy these woks are. They're not extremely heavy, but they are on the heavier side. So having a second helper handle might help a little bit. But if you are limited in space in your kitchen, having that extra helper handle might be just extra room that you don't have. So this one doesn't have it, which is not a deal breaker at all. Now, another feature that I do want to point out, which is a personal preference of mine, so again, not a deal breaker, just a personal preference, is that for some of my cookware, I like hanging them up because of the limited counter space or cabinet space, and the larger pieces of cookware get hung up. This wok doesn't have any feature or option for me to hang this wok up. So later on, I might have to drill a hole in the handle right here to try to hang it up. But like I said, not a deal breaker, but just want to highlight that for those of you guys who do like to hang up your cookware. Now, with all that being said, let's go test this wok out. Okay, so let's go ahead and test out this wok. First thing we're going to do is preheat the wok hot. One of the main rules of cooking with a wok or carbon steel in general, hot pan or hot wok, cold oil will create that polymerization that helps the wok or the carbon steel cookware be non-stick. So hot wok, and then now, cold oil. I think this wok is starting to get nice and hot. And the first thing we're going to test out cooking here is a fried egg. Eggs are very delicate, and is a great way to test the quote-unquote non-stick capability of carbon steel. So we'll see. Let's see how that. Hopefully this is hot enough. There we go. Not really sticking. I broke it. No, I broke it. So one thing that I did notice about this spatula is there's no bevel on the very end of this spatula. Can you guys see that? There's like no beveling. So it's kind of hard to get underneath the egg or whatever you're frying. But as you guys can see, this wok is not sticking badly at all. I'll grab a plate real quick. But as you can see, yeah, there's no beveling on this. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably take it down to my grinder and put a slight beveling on the spatula. So that should be fun. So the next thing we're actually going to make in here is my dinner for tonight. We are eating beef and broccoli. So since this is already hot, we're going to go ahead and make beef and broccoli. So just a little bit additional oil. First things first, we're going to fry. Well, let's get that egg out of here first. We're going to turn the heat down just a little bit and fry our aromatics. So this is just a couple cloves of garlic, and some ginger. As you guys can see, the 𝗢𝗚𝗡 wok performed really, really well. The hand-hammered, almost mirror-like finish is almost quote-unquote non-stick. As you guys know, a well-seasoned carbon steel pan is, or cast iron pan, is about as non-stick or close to non-stick as you can get. And this pan performed very well. The thicker gauge steel held heat very nicely, and also because it is hammered so evenly around, the heat distribution of the wok that I have cooked with for a brief time seems very even. So that's a really, really nice thing to see. All this being said, this concludes my video of the first impression of the 𝗢𝗚𝗡 wok, and I hope you guys do like it. If you guys do like it, please hit that like and subscribe button. It will mean the world to me. It'll help me support all of this madness, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.